Are we on? Are we on? Welcome to Basketball Heads Live. I am your host, Glenn Pooh Harding. And oh boy, we have a very special guest. This basketball head is the commissioner for one of the most storied basketball tournaments in New York City history. Since starting 21 years ago, Hoops in the Sun has earned its spot as one of the premier Pro-Am tournaments and tournaments overall on the entire East Coast and throughout the country. Held at Orchard Beach in the Bronx, where according to New York Daily News, over 700,000 people visit the beach during the summer on the weekends. That's like a meal, fam. We gonna get there. It provides a recreational activity for adults and youth and an entertainment outlet for beach-going spectators of all ages. This basketball head tournament services 1,500 to 2,000 youth and over 1,000 adults in the summer throughout the semi-annual programming. Recently, this basketball head tournament has added another component to the program named the Summit. This platform worked out combine sessions at Orchard Beach as it provided recreational services and support and empowerment this summer of 2020. It's like 2 years ago though, right? In the summer of 2020, day services has occupied and put to work over 100 kids every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for youth ages 5 and 18 years of age. The summit includes basketball skills, drills, yoga, stretching, breathing, sand workouts for sports and agility, and now having the calisthenics and a boxing and kickboxing station for the youth and families. How many tournaments you know, just basketball tournaments, are providing so many services for their communities, for families, and for kids of all ages? Well, you're going to meet them tonight. So, without further ado, help me welcome to the show, half of a family empire, Hoops in the Sun Commissioner, Joe Cruz.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
You have just stepped out into the world of chaos. Where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. East Coast. Go hard. West Coast. Go hard. Midwest. Go hard. Dirty. Hurry up, everybody. Get online. Buy your tickets cause the game about to start.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Man, that was a nice intro, man. I don't know if I could top that, man. I have pressure on me, man.
Nah, it's all good. Well deserved, brother. Well deserved.
Thank you, my man. Listen, I want to give a shout out to Basketball Heads Live, who's doing this organically, independently, looking for an opportunity to put the world on the map, especially our NYC superstars and tournaments and all the stuff that we do that's unique here in New York. Basketball Heads Live is bringing it to you live for sure. And I'm glad to be here. It's an honor for my family, my tournament, to be with you, Pooh, and the whole Basketball Head community.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. First of all, it's an honor. I'm glad we could get the schedule straight to make this happen. Because a lot of people just think, I call up somebody and they on the show the next day. It takes a lot of planning because you guys are busy. We all are busy doing a lot of things in our lives. So I'm glad you're able to make it. For those in the room, if it's your first time, please subscribe. For everybody that's on Instagram that's checking me out right now, come over, go to my profile on Instagram, hit the click of the link and click it, and it'll bring you right to the show. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for checking in. I told the Beats what's happening, brother. So, hey, don't forget to subscribe, right? Because it costs you nothing. That's the great thing about YouTube.
Hey, listen, everybody out there, support is free. Support is free. All right. Download, subscribe to Basketball Heads Live. All right, on YouTube right now. This is going to be a dope interview. I can't wait to kick it with my boy Pooh.
No doubt, brother. No doubt. So, you know, we was talking earlier about a few things, and yeah. I'm going to bring all those things back up because I think you brought up some interesting points. And, you know, before I get to my first question of the night, man, I put up a post about Nike. And it's no knock to them, but I just want to always ask the people, you know, do the shoe companies control the grassroots basketball of America? Yep. So, and then I read, you know, I didn't make the video, I got it from someone else, but still they just ran down all the things that they're into, and they don't. When the last time you seen a Nike commercial? It's like McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
They don't have to make commercials because the commercials is in the street. The kids are wearing them.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, social media is dictating everything. And that's the beauty about, you know, how, you know, people like myself and just how all the beautiful commissions out there, you know, do a great job adapting to, you know, what the kids like. And, you know, we can't be relevant if we're not adjusting with the times. And, you know, for us, it's been a huge opportunity for us to see, you know, I mean, I might look young, but you know, I was, you know, I seen the golden era, you know, and as a young kid, and I seen why my father decided to do this tournament, right? Is to bring people together, all diverse backgrounds on the one tent, on the one basketball court. And to live that through and go through the 2000s and get to the point now, you know, where social media and you know, these kids are fantastic. Like, let's just keep it real. Like, it's awesome to see these kids in action. So, dude, to live that era out, to get to this new era and this new generation, and see it transform across the time, it's a beautiful thing to watch. So, social media dictates the world, man, and you know, our kids are putting it on the map, you know, so.
That's real, man. So I think you kind of answered the question already, but I'm still going to ask it, brother.
Yeah.
Who introduced you to the game?
Oh, who introduced me to the game? I would say my father. You know, God rest his soul. My father was, you know, a pioneer in street basketball.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, you know, he was a human being. You know, he was a Vietnam vet, survived it, went through the whole situation. And, you know, I was born and he, you know, stopped everything he was doing to get to the point where I'm able to see him through. My dad was an athlete, went to Rice High School, wasn't the kind of player to get recruited, but it was an opportunity for him to see how athletics is, especially as a Spanish, you know, descendant. Just kind of seeing how things were to lay in the land, and then my father did into different things, and I got introduced to him, you know, putting on a Knick game, and watching, you know, Pat Ewing and all these beautiful athletes that you know, shook my world in terms of like, oh, I like this, you know, and then I, you know, some guy named Michael Jordan came around. And then just took it to a whole different level, you know. And you know, as I got older, I started idolizing certain players. Like Kenny Anderson is my favorite player. I mean, just really gifted with the ball and had a flow to him and had a just made the game look so easy, man. He was fantastic, and then I just grew with the game, and then I loved it. And you know, my dad was always a big fan of basketball, football, different sports. So he always put us in those situations. And then I just fell in love with the game. You know, I'm only 5'6.5" on a good day. I just love the competition. I love the, I feel basketball is an art, and you create the canvas. And those players are like, you are creating a canvas. I create a canvas. NBA athletes, cause that, have allowed me to see their canvas, and I enjoy it. And it's been a drug of mine all my life, and it's what's got me through these doors. And sitting here in front of you live and telling you that, truth be told.
That's real, man. I want to give a shout out to this young athlete I met yesterday, Nick Cortez Martinez, 5'6" point guard from Forest Hill High School, who lit up the gym yesterday at Campus Magna High School. And he said something to me that I thought was pretty dope. I was just asking him, I see him get after it on the offensive end, but he also gets after it on the defensive end.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, being 5'6", you got to make your way and make your presence be felt. Right? Did you play ball coming up?
I did. I was pretty good, Pooh. I was pretty good. I went to LaSalle Academy at high school, and I came up with in my class or classes was Ron Artest, now it's World Meta Peace. And Shamgard Wells is, another idol of mine that was completely gifted with the ball. And then I played in varsity B and went back and forth, and that was fine for me. And then I decided to take my talents to TCI and played a 2-year college basketball at that time by the Garden. And then I finished my career at Lehman College and played 2 years there. Had a brief stint in Puerto Rico, semi-pro. And then I had busted my knee. I tore my ACL. And then this is around the same time my dad was trying to figure out what he was doing. My dad went to high school with Earl the Goat Manigault.
Mm-hmm.
At I think that's
that's Ben Franklin.
Ben Franklin, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then I remember the stories he told me about the whole backboard and the quarters in the backboard. He was in the backyard with him, drinking beer, doing all that adolescent stuff, and was close friends with the GOAT at that time, and they both dipped and dabbed in different things. And then fast forwarding, they reconnected, him and the GOAT. And my dad noticed that they were doing, he was doing his tournament on the West Side, and just fell in love with it. And I think Earl the Goat Manigault, God rest his soul.
Yes.
Got my dad a little thirsty about basketball, right? And seeing his idol, Earl, doing this give back was like something that my dad kind of got an itch for. And then he, Earl the Goat Manigault, put my dad in front of Ray Diaz. And Ray Diaz is the first creator or founder or director of Nike Pro City at Hunter College.
Mm-hmm.
And then, my dad became his disciple. My dad was like the assistant to Ray Diaz, and like picked up all the tricks of the trade, learned how Pro City operated, just kind of absorbed everything, how Ray dealt with people, how the business is. And my dad was already working at Jennifer Convertibles as a national sales trainer. And his thing was just selling and marketing. So he learned from, one of his idols, and learned from Ray, who was one of the best organizers of his time. And lo and behold, he said, I'm taking this opportunity to do my own. So my dad took a trip to Venice Beach, California with Jennifer Convertibles. Saw that Venice Beach, California was doing their tournament there, which is the home of White Man Can't Jump, and
That's
fell in
right.
love with that too. And then I always remember my father telling me and my family that his favorite hangout spot was Orchard Beach. And he flew back and said, I'm going to bring the East Coast Venice Beach. And I said, I don't know what you talk about. I never flew to California, never. And he was like, I just seen one of the most beautiful landscapes of my life, and I want to bring this to Orchard. And so Orchard Beach was in a midst of a transformation around 1999, 2000.
Mm-hmm.
And it just mirrored Venice Beach. And he said, I'm going to do this shit. I'm going to do it. Sorry for my language.
No, it's so good.
I'm trying to be authentic here, man. Trying to get my soul into this. But yeah,
that's brother.
The story, man. He called us and said, yo, I'm doing this. I'm doing it. And I'm going to take what I learned from the GOAT and Ray Diaz. And I want to be one of the first or few Latino entrepreneurs, and I want to leave you guys something behind because that's what he wanted to do.
When we talk about Venice Beach, because I've been out there and I know what it looks like.
Yeah.
And having that on the East Coast, that whole feel of it, he did a great job. You know what I'm saying with that. So, in saying that, man, I want to say thanks to your pops. You know what I mean for laying down this foundation for you guys, and you guys continue on his legacy, man. That's dope.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Nah.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to be a product of pushing it forward, man. And my dad was an angel, man. It's tough for me, my brother and I to go through what we went through, but that man is an idol, man, and short lived, but we just want to carry his legacy, and now it's time for my brother and I to start our own legacy.
That's right. That's real. So, where are you from? Are you from Harlem?
I'm from the Upper East Side of Manhattan.
We're Barbito Garcia, right?
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Yeah. Oh man, he's another icon. We could speak days about him. I grew up on the Upper East Side. Always went to Spanish Harlem and Harlem and played basketball just because I knew that's where the grit was, and I had my share of good moments out there in street basketball. I played in the summer circuit. I played in Dyckman. I played at West 4th. The Dog Show, the GOAT. So I did a few of those things. I had a good time with it. And my dad pushed me to a point where he just wanted me to go further and further and further. And then I felt I was just trying to prove to him that I'm, can be that. And he decided to create a team and put us in his tournament called Hoops in the Sun, and brought all my friends together to play under one umbrella. And lo and behold, my dad wanted that opportunity for me to play and also learn a business at the same time.
Did he ever tell you where the name Hoops in the Sun came from? I know it's an obvious reason, being on the beach and all, but that's a incredible name. It just pops. And then when you tell people the location, and then you put the artwork behind it in the uniforms.
Yeah.
Man.
So I can't take all the credit for that. I am the face of a lot of stuff in Hoops in the Sun, but my brother Randy Cruz is, the foundation, the backbone, everything to Hoops in the Sun, right? And he's not gonna come on the show and do all that. So that's why I'm
good.
Here, right?
Yeah.
So I want to shout him out. So and also I want to shout out Jared Leak, who was another person in that room, and then my dad. And we was I think we were at a point where we decided that we're gonna do it, and I think we felt like we had an opportunity to get it off and going. So I think we were coming from the parks department having this conversation about permits and all this other jazz that they want to talk about.
Right.
And then he was driving, and then I think Jared asked us, "What we gonna call this shit, man? What we gonna call this shit? Can't call it anything beach because Venice Beach, Venice Beach.
Right.
We can't use Orchard Beach because you know how the New York City love they fucking titles and names.
Yep.
So we just, I want to say it's my brother. I really do, but I just know that car ride, and it was like, yo, what we gonna call it? And it was like, yo, man, I don't know, man. It's gonna be hot. I know that. They're gonna be hooping. I don't know. It's gonna be in the daytime. Maybe it's just maybe hooping in the sun. I don't. And then my brother said, hoops in the sun. Hoops in the sun. Hoops in the sun. And I was, and I wore this shirt on purpose because this actually was the first logo that my brother sketched out. Was designed from 1999, 2000 is the first logo that we ever created. So I want to share that with you, my brother. And
that's dope.
This is how the logo looks now in our legacy. So I want to share that history with you. So, to leading to the point where the branding becomes us, right? Like we had to be different than the rest, but we want to stay in the conversation of top 5, right? How do we get gritty streetball teams to play at Orchard Beach? It's like, paradise. So, my dad was you know, again, a salesperson, and was able to get people like Sid Jones and, you know, all these other
Yes.
pillar people in New
Mhm.
York City to really come in and buy into a product that he was selling, which is, I'm selling you the beach and you can't get this experience nowhere else. You're not going to get vendors. You're not going to get your own, you know, your Latin and your cultural music. You're not going to get all that. You're not going to have a sand 10 steps from the court. You're not going to have the breeze, but you're going to get burnt. You're going to get killed with the sun, right? I can't guarantee nothing else, but I can give you that.
Right.
And, you know, that created a pipeline for a lot of, you know, different players. And again, my dad was working at Pro City during the week, and he was having conversations when people come in. Hey, listen, man, I got my joint uptown. Check it out. And then the way my dad was always working with people, how my dad was always, you know, people first, man. People first. And that's the one thing I admire by that man. He's a people first, man. Like, Paul, I'll tell you, man, if you met this man, you'd be like, you met him in 5 minutes, you feel you met him in 5 years. And I always admire that. And I picked up that trade. I picked it up, right? Because I'm like,
Right.
man, yo, you a bullshitter. What's up with you? Why you gonna gas it like that? He said, yo, you never know what you might need at some point, but you always got to be organic and authentic when you approach it.
Yes.
And I was like a young kid. I'm like, whatever, man, you lying to you motherfuckers, man. Come on. And then he was just dope, man. He was just a dope person in the room, and somebody that lit up the room. Somebody knew that he was there. So I learned those things as I got older. You know, I got older in this game, right? And I learned it from him. I said, damn, I'm gonna be like him when I grow up in terms of how I deal with people, how I deal with my product, and how I deal with the brands and sponsors, and just what he went about it, right? So, yeah.
No, that's real. That, you know, and bring a Brevo back. Just knowing how it was growing, coming up,
Right.
playing in there and going for like 30 years, right? Court
Mhm.
decimated to bring it back, and to, you know, now it's a lot of tournaments. Back then it wasn't a lot of tournaments, right? We talking about
Right.
80s, mid 80s, and even going back to the 70s, because Brevo goes back to 1973.
Mm.
But just, you know, when you just saying separating yourself
Yeah.
from the others, like no other place in New York City you're gonna get that experience of Hoops in the Sun.
No, not at all. You're not. And anybody who's on anywhere watching this, you're not gonna get it. You're not. And I'm not talking shit. I respect every tournament out there. I respect it. Rucker is Rucker. Dykeman is Dykeman. Gersh is Gersh. West Fourth is West Fourth. They just have, those are pillars in New York City, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say that I am part of that. I am part of that pillar.
Yes.
And I'm part of that pillar. I respect everyone on that dimension and more. Watson, Lee from Watson, Zone 6. I can go on. I don't want to miss nobody. But we were birthed in that time. We were birthed, and we got stamped at the best time. And if people ask me if I want to do it again, would it be in this new era? I don't know if I don't know, because selling the beach to people is tough, Pooh. It's tough. It's tough during the Saturday and Sunday. We got families and they got things to do. And Orchard Beach had a rep that was, this ain't Jones Beach, bro. This ain't, you know, I had to really, you know, do my little, yo, I got you, come here, you know. And it was tough. It was tough. And, you know, I remember when my dad was doing all this. And the toughest part for me when he's passed was trying to come from being a ball player to being a commissioner. It was just so tough. You know what I mean? And those are the hardest moments that I had in my life, in telling my peoples, no, you ain't gonna do it here. This is Hoops in the Sun. So, you know, the mantra became, you know, the beach. It became something that was stamped, and then I was just so blessed to be in that era to live it through those golden eras, because that's what's making us sustainable now, is what we did before and how we continue to be creative and be innovative as we are now.
Edward Lopez. Oh, this is my Munch is in the building. Coach Munch is in the building. He said, "What's up?"
What up, Munch?
He said, Yes. He said, Mr. Cruz, the best that ever did it. Thank you for all you done for the women's game. And most of all, no limit.
I appreciate that. That's
That's dope.
that's one of the things that I live for, right? None of us are getting rich in this basketball thing, but I get rich in love, and I get rich in respect. And I just, when I was younger, I chased the wrong thing.
Yes.
Right? I get caught up in all that. Now I'm in a different path in my life where I'm just chasing rich love and genuine people in my life and just being around, very good situation because that's my core. I'm family and I'm loyal and I'm dedicated to, you know, I'm dedicated to HITS, which is Hoops in the Sun.
That's right, man. Look, same thing, brother. Right? I told you, I don't look at my followers. I don't count that. It's just
Right.
it's happening, whatever the case may be. The thing for me is the in person. When people see me, when people come up to me, and they see the logo, they look up and they like,
Yeah.
basketball heads. Yo, thank you. That means the most to me because you could be be doing a halfway job with it, a half-ass job, and people
Right.
not respect it, and people not really feel your authenticity of it, and you just trying to go out there and make it a money grab. And again, that's what I think sets everything apart from what you do, and then what we trying to do here on this side, man. So appreciate to all the people out there in New York. Thank you for the love, and we appreciate you.
No
For
doubt. No
sure.
doubt. Anybody watching, I appreciate it too, and just continuing, that whole concept of the brand, you know, 2000, we got the permit in 1999, did an eight team tournament at that time. It was nice, short and sweet. And then we had some interest in people who really wanted to mess with us. And then we just kind of built from there. The 2001 was a good year. In 2002, we had Tracy McGrady come to our tournament, and Adidas was messing with us, and Pops has a relationship with Mountain Dew and a few other sponsors that he was trying to piecemeal it, and he knew that it was growing, and then it grew to a women's program, and it grew to a men's program, and then 2004 he passed, and then it was life changing. It was shift. And it wasn't like being a kid no more. I'm 25. I'm trying to really, am I built? Am I ready? Do you know who just passed away? Do you know who? Do we all know what this guy means to New York City? Am I gonna fill these shoes? Is this the Prince moment? You know what I mean? And I didn't know what I was doing. So then my brother talked to me, and so I wasn't gonna do it. Wasn't gonna do the tournament because I'm like, I can't tell my guys, and I don't know if these sponsors are gonna mess with us. Like we just got really wet in the game. We're just trying to get our traction. And then my brother called me to the side and said, "Listen, bro, I don't know what you're doing, but we're doing this shit, and I ain't doing it without you." I said, "But why me?" Like, he said, "First of all, you're the first, and second of all, you know how to talk to people. I'll do the background shit. You do the rest."
Thanks.
And then he said, "I guarantee you the sponsors, I guarantee you the people are going to mess with you." So I started to make calls like to the sponsor that we had the year before. I'm getting hey, blah, blah, blah. This is Joe Cruz Jr. Hoops in the Sun. Oh, hey, Joe. I'm sorry about you. I just listen. I'm thinking about doing a tournament. I think I'm going to do it again. Oh, we had every expectation that you're going to do it. We already have you. We already have this ready for you. We just want to make sure you was ready to take flight. And I said, oh, so I called another sponsor. Got it got the same response. Like, I'm like, wow. And I'm like, okay. And then all my sponsors dedicated the year that my dad, uniforms. We have Mountain Dew cans. I dedicated his name. Dykeman did a great job just honoring my dad at their games, and a lot of people showed love. So it was it was a bittersweet moment in terms of how endearing it was, how true it was, and how much my dad impacted people. And I knew from that day forward, Pooh, that I was going to be that person moving forward, for sure.
Man, that's dope, man. That's dope. See, there's not like the evolution, right? The natural evolution, right? And sometimes when we fight those things that our soul and our passion is driven to, we try to fight, stay away from that.
Right.
Yo, Joe, I stood away from the game for over 20 years. Easy, 25 years.
Yeah.
After playing college ball, and for some reason it just brought me right back to the origin. It brought me right back. And I was never the guy that want to be in front of the camera speaking. I've done things that I've always been behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And when you got, like your brother and then my friends pushing you to be the face and bring yourself to the forefront and show the real talents that we have. Those things, when it happens naturally, and then you agree to follow your heart and your passion, good things happen.
No doubt. Yeah. Thank you for that. And listen, I encourage you to keep going too. And this ain't the last of us, with this conversation. But I want to tell you, like, I'm proud of you, and I'm proud of you. That conversation your friend pushed you, because just like my brother did for me, it put me in a situation where I was getting respect, and I had some stake in the game, and I had to push forward, Pooh, because if I don't do it, who gonna do it? And I didn't want nobody to take over that real estate orchard and jeopardize what my dad was transforming. I mean, we went from steel backboards to fiberglass backboards. We went from one court to two courts. We went from non-regulation court. We got somebody to design a real court for us and expand it. We got no bleachers. We got bleachers. I can go on and on for 20. This will be our 23rd season, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing something right. I'm right, and I'm happy to say that, because I doubted myself as a kid and said, damn, I don't even know I don't even know I'm gonna be. Man, I'll tell you, I said, damn, I'm scared of these other tournaments. It's dangerous tournaments, man. Damn. And I'm like, I gotta get through this, man. And I thanks to my teams and my coaches and the people that believe me, like, it's phenomenal. I go to places now like you, like, yo, what's up, Joe? Like, oh shit, how you doing? I don't even know who these people are. And it's just like, I get called GOAT, I get called different names, and I'm like, it's just surreal, you know what I mean? And surreal that I was able to touch lives from afar. I'm able to touch lives tangibly, and I'm able to touch lives to this day. I got games tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I got games tomorrow, and it's my middle school, and I'm all for it. So, don't give up what you're doing. Don't tell no. I don't care who tells you what you don't got and how you gonna do it. You do it your way and your way only. As long as you believe in yourself and you got your integrity, you got your whole thing together, bro, you can be good. I've done this without a sponsor for 5 years, and I'm hoops in the sun, and I'm still pushing. So I ain't gonna stop me, and that shouldn't stop you.
No, not at all. I'm blessed to have a great team around me and be a part of some really good community people who grew up in the community, who want to see good things happen. And one of my OGs, Earl Robinson, he was just like, you need to connect with my guy Joe. He's going to show you some things. Y'all talk, get him on a show.
Earl's a good brother. Earl's a good brother. Misunderstood. That's my boy. That's my boy. But integrity is real.
Loyal. Yes.
And you do right by him, he'll do right by you. So
yeah, I said Earl might curse you out, but he not gonna curse his little brother out. He gonna roll out the red carpet for me and make sure that I'm right. So
for sure. And that's my boy. He assigns my men's program, and Bernard Senior assigns my kids. And when you mentioned about team, I would be nothing without my staff.
Right.
So I don't know who's watching. I will never be the person I am without my staff. My staff is dope. I can go through names: Kendrick, Mike, Bobby, Gerald, Kyle, my brother Randy, Tim, G Stacks, Spicy Talk, Cha-Ching. I mean, Johnny, Mike Lowry, Rel. All these characters are what makes a tournament. You know what I'm saying? And I can't take that away from what they do for me and what they do for themselves to put us on the map. So, you know, I salute to my staff. I wouldn't be without them. And then shout out to Bernard and Earl, who, you know, look out for me in terms of what I want to do with my program and support it. Like it or not, they, you know, they're for me. So for sure.
And the Brevard Basketball League is similar to what is happening or happened with you. My guy, Trey Diggs, whose dad is Thomas Diggs, who was the guy who ran the tournament for a long time in Brevard, right? He used to coach me when I was young. He was the only guy in the neighborhood that would come to my games when I played at Lincoln, you know, and a situation where a lot of people in my family, my dad didn't, you know, saw me play once, and this man used to come and see me all the time,
right.
And he used to bring his younger son Trey with him. So Trey would, you know, and watching me, it's like, yo, I looked up to you. I wanted to do what you were doing, right? Being the only guy at the time playing high school basketball, and we wanted to honor him. And so, in that aspect, he's doing what he needs to do and honor his dad like you did, right? But he's like, Pooh, you be the face, you be the guy, because you already got us out there and doing it. And, you know, along with everybody else who has pitched in and made the first year a success. So trust me, I'm on. I haven't made it up there, but I've been watching. I was like, oh man, I'm taking notes. I'm writing things down. I'm jotting, you know, all the great things you're doing, and then getting the information from Earl, who's there all the time with you. So
no
makes
doubt,
it all the better. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So let's go back, man.
Let's go.
Give me the real on the first year. Like, let's talk about that first year, because usually it's a lot of, you know, different obstacles you have to go through to get to where you're going. How was that first year like for you?
But by myself, or the first year we launched?
The first year you launched.
Wow. I remember the steel backboards. I remember the double rim.
Hold on, time out. Hold on for a sec. Hold on. First tech of the night. First tech. The double rims. So nasty. So ugly. Why did y'all do that to us, New York City? I think it was done purposely. The double rims?
Double rim.
And I remember that.
Double rim, and sometimes you got to get a little tape to hold the net. It looked nasty, man. Look nasty. Look nasty. I remember it was 18s, man. It was Chanel Scott had a team. It was called GCD. Babito played on that team with Smush. They had a roster.
Wow.
I think we had a team starting five. We had Team Gun Hill. We had Exodus. And we just I know the uniforms is garbage. I know that for sure.
Yo, right now, y'all got some of the hottest uniforms in the not the hottest.
Oh, no doubt, no, for sure. And that, again, that's my brother. We'll get to that, but that's for sure. We do have that top down uniforms. I'm not gonna lie, we do. But I remember it was like, remember Olaf's?
Yes.
Right? Not as thick as Olaf, like in terms of the material, but
yes.
Whatever. And I remember it was a big ass pancake type shit on my back. Somebody wanted to make a sun, but put the number in the sun, but the sun had the little baby rays, and it wasn't even like big. It looked like a big pancake. So that was when screen printing, and you felt the screen printing on your back when you sweat, like it was stuck to you. We had those uniforms. I'm like, that was nasty. But after that, we had Adidas, and then they blessed us with, upper echelon kind of material. And then we became, known for our uniforms. And then we put the acronym because we wanted to kind of be different. And then we just, let them, the sponsor at the time was dictating how the uniforms look, and we just wanted to concentrate on the court, concentrate on the experience, concentrate on the overall feel for what we was trying to really do in terms of really educating people that there is a beach in the Bronx. It does exist, but also getting you out of your neighborhood. And even though you're paying a parking fee, you got an experience there's no other. You know what I'm saying? Like from music to different backgrounds, culture, to different type of sports, to top level talent. We wanted to kind of be the hub for the Bronx. At the time, it was UDC, it was us, and Gun Hill, and as well as Watson. So Bronx was burning at that time, so it was good. And we were the Young Bucks, and we're trying to really figure this lay of the land. And then every year we started to build in terms of teams and expanding, and then we really kicked it off when we decided to go with the youth basketball program. Like when we went to the 8, 10, 12, all the way up, that's when things got crazy for us. Yeah.
See, and look, I get it all the time. Pooh, I know y'all gonna put pro-am. Y'all got the stadium kind of feel. Y'all got the audience. I was like, no, we gonna focus on the kids.
Yeah.
We gonna focus on the kids. We can copy everybody else's blueprint, right? But if we create our own blueprint and give girls and boys a chance to play under the lights,
right,
with a self-contained audience, that could grow to maybe 500 to 1,000 people, depending, right, on the situation. Who else in the city is doing that? At night, that's usually reserved for pro-am. All the night games are reserved for pro-am, which is dope, right? But the kids, like you said, things started taking off for you when you started to focus on the youth, right?
Yeah.
And then, again, they'll let you know, I'm going to Hoops in the Sun because those uniforms is hot and the court is crazy. Like,
yeah.
My Instagram going to look nice, right? They already know. Trust me, they tell me. I already know. You ask me, like, what's the top tournament? You're like, yo, I'm in Brooklyn, but I go up all the way to Hoops in the Sun and I go play. Why? Why do you like it? Of course, the fun atmosphere, but when you listen to a kid, the kid is going to let you know, like, yo, the uniform's hot. I got the sneakers to go with it. My sneakers match the court. And I get the dope videos out of it. And I was sitting back going,
you know what? You just educated me on something I was trying to figure out. What was the reason why they came to the beach?
I'm telling you.
You just gave me the answer.
I'm telling you.
Now I know that's what it is. I didn't know. I thought it was still obviously the atmosphere, the competition, but the fact that they're able to get their Instagram updated with our background and pictures and video. I mean, duh. I got it. Understood.
Again, like you say, you see me out there with the kids in high school. I talk to them. I want to know, and then so I could put some of these things in my bag and bring it to my neighborhood and create a different atmosphere in the middle of a housing projects that people would may consider dangerous and create a fun atmosphere for all coaches all across the city, right? Yep. So, listen, I'm not the only one taking notes. Trust me, we all taking notes. All right.
I appreciate it. Hey, listen, you ain't. You know what? You even gotta check my gram. You got my number, man. So
no, for sure. I'm definitely gonna be calling you. Yes,
for sure.
All right. Now, you said in the beginning you had 8 teams.
Yeah.
You had the double rims, iron backboards.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the court was the way it was looking right now, right?
No.
And the uniforms wasn't as hot. You mentioned that. How did you convince the teams to come? Like, I'm not asking you for your whole pitch, but let's think about that, right? You're trying to convince players to come up to the Bronx, which is not hard to do, but to come play on the beach. No walls for shade. How was it, man?
Oh man. It's a tough question, man.
Brother, you are 23 years strong. This is going to be your 23rd year. Think
Yeah.
about that. And you just think about that alone, right?
Yeah. I would say before all the aesthetics, what it boils down to is how me and my brother treat people.
Got you.
And I think that when people meet us, it's genuine love. And then when we ask you to come out, we really want you to come out. And but when we get you there, we're going to sell you, because this is what we sell you is this. We sell you, oh shit, I never know this was here. Oh my God, this shit is beautiful. Yo, they got this, and the water, and the girls, and the music, oh, and the liquor. Yeah, they start trying to sell you for this time. Now, can I expect you to come back? And then it's like, like I said, like we were birthed by word of mouth, no social media. So when you play that Pro City, you play that Dykeman in a week, or you play that Fun Sport or West Fourth, they all talk about the tournament that they're going to go to next. And we became that weekend type of vibe. So, the sell was us, the atmosphere, the competition, and now aesthetically is about, you're not going to play in your neighborhood, right? Not taking away from that, because I love that shit, but it's more like, hey, for a couple of days, you've been doing that shit all week.
That's right.
Come out here, bring your family, bring your kids, bring your your girlfriends, your boy, whatever. Come out and just chill and rock with us, because we're gonna have like a beach party for you when we come out here. You know what I mean? So we're known for that, and I think we do a pretty damn good show, and we're the only tournament there's 2 courts at one time. So, like I mean, I do it all, and I've I push it forward to let like there ain't nothing gonna stop me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna compete with days, but the weekends are they say hits on the weekends for sure.
See, and that's one thing we kind of figured out, right? We figured
Yeah.
out, okay, Zone 6 and Gersh, because we're in the middle of both, right? We're in the
Oh, yeah.
middle of
Oh,
both.
yeah.
So it's like, okay, they
Oh, yeah.
do this at certain times,
Yep.
and we want to make sure, okay, you have to figure out the way you can have your own staple, right? And put yourself. So with you having such a long run, I don't think it's that hard for people to pick, right? Because I remember Munch having a championship game in Brooklyn at BK Post at the same time. They won BK Post, then they had to leave for 2 more tournaments.
I forgot to tell you, it's because I give out good ass. I forgot to tell you, it's because we give out good ass packages. That's what we give out. That's what it is too.
Trust, because he split that team up and said, y'all go here, and we still gonna win.
Yeah. And then you know what he got? He got airline tickets and massage guns and a free entry next year. So he know the vibe.
Y'all do that. Y'all do that for the winner. They get the free entry.
I do that for the winner, for the women's only, and then for the men's, there's a prize at the end, and then or a package in terms of like jackets and all that stuff, and then they get a free entry to next year's tournament.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Something to think about.
I gave you a gem. I gave you a gem.
I'm always taking notes, bro. Trust me.
I hear that, right? You're taking notes. I get.
That's right. Now, how has the Pro-Am tournament elevated from when it first started? We talk about you had 8 teams.
Yeah. So I still have 8 teams. So most I did was 10. At a period of time, men basketball was in the transition, respectfully, and then so I went back to 8. What I expanded on was my youth component, and I went from only doing a 14U, and then now I'm at 60 teams. So total 70 teams that operate in the summertime. So 60 youth, and then that means 8U, 10U, 12U, 14U, 16U, high school girls, women pro, men pro. Yeah, and that's it. That's about 8 divisions. And I do that. I do that shit in the weekend. A weekend. I don't do this all day, every day. I wish I could. I don't have the ability to be at the beach, and I don't do it at nighttime, which is one of my goals to do a night game. But there is wildlife, and it is a beach, so and it's one way in and one way out. So there's always things like that worry me. But that's that.
No, that's dope. That's dope. And what year did you add the women's division?
We had the women's division back in 1999, and we ended it in like 04. And when my dad passed, we transitioned, and then I brought it back. I brought it back actually this past winter. I did an indoor winter league to try out, see if the women would be involved, and so I met Bunch and a few other teams like OTF and Lady Hoopers and all these wonderful programs that partook Irk Productions, all these teams that came on, and we rocked out. And then I said, why not try to bring back girl basketball that I've been trying to do for a very long time? And I had got cursed out. I've got asked why don't I do the women, and you're chauvinistic. I'm like, oh man, damn. So I tried it. I did it. I was successful. I ran with it this summer, and No Limit was the winner of my women's winter championship indoor and now summer championship outdoors at the beach. So what other way to have a representation of a team like that? And even Team Footprints was in the championship game. It's just those two teams and all the team. I mean, what just to have the first championship at the beach in like in about 20 years, that's a stat for you.
Man, the fact that Munch won, what was it, 9 championships this summer?
Yeah.
That's insane. That just remind me of the old primetime team.
TMP.
That James Ryan used to coach.
Or TMP.
Yes. They
prisoners, baby.
Yes.
Do Rick. That was a run. They won like 90 games in a row.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. They're nice. They're one of the best teams ever.
Y'all heard that, right?
Yep. No disrespect to no team, but I mean, I've seen that team run through a lot, and that's reminding me of No Limit.
What challenges do you have having so many divisions?
Weather and timing. Just getting everything in just the time you wanted to block it out, and operating 2 courts is tough, but we got to get the games in, because if not, I don't want our kids to be gypped with time, and I don't want nobody not having experience to be at the beach. So I would say weather and just, competing with other team schedules, with the weekend games with Girls respectfully and Zone 6 or whatever it is, West 4th. It's always going to be a conflict, respectfully. Watson, we all have, but that's why we always speak about what we got to do and try to plan a little more advanced to avoid those things. So we all let each other know what team is in what, and then try to figure it out. We do the best we can. But I would say those would be the challenges that we have.
Yeah.
It's so many tournaments.
Doing this
tournament.
There's
so many one-day tournaments, money tournaments, showcases. I'm not gonna tell you not to go to any of those things, but when it comes to my time, I gotta make sure nothing trumps hoops in the sun. So it becomes challenging, for sure.
Yeah, I don't believe in the word conspiracy theory or the words conspiracy theory, but I'm a truth seeker. And something was so fishy about all the rain that we was having last summer.
Yeah.
I can tell people. This is some knowledge I'm gonna drop on y'all, right?
Yeah.
Wherever you see lines in the sky, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are not clouds, okay? And they don't come from just regular airplanes. Mm-hmm. Whenever you see lines in the sky, just know the weather's gonna change. So, lucky for me, I've been studying stuff for a long time. I we can kind of plan out. And I would tell my crew, and sometimes, like 2 times, it tricked us. Well, 1 time it tricked us because we canceled the games because we thought it was going to rain and it didn't rain. Right? Well, isn't that the worst? Right? They said it's going to rain on the news. You have a feeling it's going to rain.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to rain, but it doesn't rain.
All the time. I be getting gyms, calling 45 gyms, trying to say should we do some games outdoor first and then run to the gym. Bro, let me tell you something. I hate the summer only because I'm like Al Roker.
Right.
Bro, I be like, I don't care about nothing else but that weather, bro. I'm like, damn, man. Like, and I'm like, yo, let me call PAL. Let me call. I got you. And then I'm like, nah, I can't use it. I'm like, damn, I just lost that money. Or I use it, and I'm like, I hope it rains today. It better freaking snow today. And then there's no drops at all. Or like a 10-minute storm, like, because I want everybody to know, like, I truly want people to respect Orchard Beach for what it is. I don't want to. The gyms are gyms. Like, those already have their own built, history. Like, I want to create my own history. I want a buzzer beater. I want a pro. I want a sponsor. Whatever the moments are, I want that to be at the beach because that is my baby. That is my home, and that's what I hone in on because it allowed me to be who I am, and it opened up my doors to so much opportunities, and I can never turn back on it.
You mentioned Tracy McGrady came to the tournament. Did he play?
No, he was actually he came through a sponsorship with Mountain Dew and Adidas, so he came out and just showed love and supported the tournament. He shot around with some kids, just some photo ops, but he just came out to stamp us in terms of Adidas and Hoops in the Sun.
What it's like having such a storied tournament, you're a staple in New York City. It's not like, you just popped up on the scene and y'all doing it.
Yeah.
People that come from out of town, they go visit. They go to Orchard Beach to go to the beach and also to check out Hoops in the Sun.
Yeah.
Or to check out Hoops in the Sun and then go to the beach. Either way, you win.
You know what's crazy, Pooh? Living through the experience of Hoops in the Sun, sometimes you don't see what people see. It's what I missed out. Because recently, to the point where my best friend Kendrick tells me, you don't know what you mean to people. You take it for granted. And I tell him I don't take it for granted. I just don't. My work isn't that. My work is something else. He said, but through the work, you impact people, and you got to understand how much they love and respect you. And I'm like, I'm humble. Like, okay, it's cool. But more recently, I've taken a lens and said, damn, this shit means a lot to people. Like, even my fall league, like, bro, I'm like, it's the fall league. Like, this, it just feels like summer. And the people that come out, and it's surreal. I now I can appreciate it more. I wish I did back in the day. Not to say I didn't, but I just didn't. I didn't have a lens like that. The way my boy told me to look at things, and I'm like, I mean, you said it, Pooh. Like, this shit is lifeline for some people. Like, I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that people were looking out and getting their profile picture to be I didn't know that. So these things are just surreal, and I'm just a fan still of the game, and I'm still a fan of the tournament, so I'm a little bit biased, but looking back at it, yeah, I can it is a staple. It is a staple, and I do have a responsibility, and I realize that more times than now.
And with great responsibility, great power comes great responsibility.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And you can flip it each way. It don't make a difference. Those two, some people can abuse the power. You could be walking around here big head, and just telling people, Wait your turn. It's all about me. We the best. I done seen you within the first couple of minutes give
Yeah.
shout outs to all the different tournaments in New York City and show them love.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I
shout.
mean?
I love them all, man. I love them all, man. Like whatever we're in competition, I love Dykeman. I love West Fourth. I love Zone 6. I love Gersh. Like I love Watson. Like I go these tournaments. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta go to a few that I need to make a round to, but like Isaiah Whitehead got a tournament in Corner. That's dope. You know what I mean? And I'm not in a position to hate. I'm in a place to appreciate because I birthed some of this shit. Like not intentionally, but like our work we did before, the blueprint, it allowed these things to happen. You know what I mean? So I'm glad to see new tournaments. I think it's a lot, but I'm glad to see people really take on the responsibility that we have. You know what I mean? And if people are looking at us at a blueprint, I respect it and I say thank you. But you know, I learned it from Rucker. You know what I mean? I learned it from Dykeman. I learned that from Pro City. You know what I'm saying? Those are my forefathers. You know, in terms of what I learned. And you know, those so still glad to be amongst those people and still be considered top 5, top 10, whatever people put us at.
For sure. Now let's talk politics and business right now. You talked about earlier having the sneaker companies involved and them being able to dictate so many things. I was talking to this one coach one time. He coached in the Catholic School League and he was coaching the A division.
Mm-hmm.
And I was asking him, I said, you have such a good team. Why don't you move to the double A? And
Right.
he said, well, the sneaker company wants us to stay here because we'll be in competition with another school who wear the same sneaker. And I'm
Right.
saying, okay, but wouldn't y'all want to play against the best? He said, yeah, but the sneaker company.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I didn't understand that because I'm saying to myself and saying to him, why are you letting a sneaker company dictate what your school can do? It wasn't a summer league, it was a school.
Yeah. I mean, I don't listen. I will play politics all you want. I don't know about that situation. Um, I do know that sneaker companies do have a leverage on how stuff is seen. I don't want to say dictate because I don't want to get controversial.
Got you.
But yeah, they're crucial to what we all do, and it's a lifestyle, and we have to adapt and we have to understand that. I mean, what happens in between those lines, I don't really agree with sometimes, or I don't get involved, but I definitely understand what you're saying. Without being said, but yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but that's how the game is played, and that hopefully things can change down the line, but doesn't seem that be the case.
Yeah, I even, go back and do the history and the knowledge on all the players that was created or came out of grassroots programs with no money backing, with no
Yeah.
sneaker contracts. It seemed like there was so many more ball players, and it's not a knock to the sneaker companies, but I'm just looking at the times and the differences from today to yesteryear. And when we look at some of the most legendary coaches, a lot of these guys just had high school diplomas. Some
Mm-hmm.
didn't.
Yeah.
Lester Roberts, who started Citywide, I don't even think he had a high school, a college diploma, a college degree. I think he
Yeah.
had a GED or a high school diploma.
Yeah.
And he birthed, Ray Haskins. We talk about a lot of the guys who came out of St. John's Rec in Brooklyn, USA, the original Brooklyn, USA.
Yeah.
And all the players that came through St. John's in that area, Sonny Lewis. And we just talk about just in the Brooklyn area, in my surrounding area, which I know about personally and saw,
Right.
Thomas Diggs and all these other people,
Yeah.
Selvin Smith, the guys who ran Soul in the Hole, it's so many different organizations with men from the community and who had help from women as well, we're able to develop and bring talent to the forefront that I don't think is being done like it was before. And I know we have to change with the times, but me sitting back and looking at all the AAU teams and seeing the talent depleted because you only have like one or two players that's good on the team and everybody else is just fill-ins.
Yeah.
Who could pay the spot. So those I just think about and AAU because that's what we compete well, right? You have kids that go to these different sessions.
Yep.
We kind of rearrange our schedule or not. You get what I'm saying? So all of these things play a part in what we do. What is your thoughts on these things as I talk about a lot of these different
I mean,
subjects?
AAU is its own conglomerate. So that's an organism that's not gonna be cracked anytime soon. We just gotta understand that these are kids that deserve and want an opportunity to come out this situation. And we are in the same position as well to do that, right? We don't have a platform as some of these AAU kind of showcase and programs, but our bandwidth reaches that much. So I think that we go hand in hand. I do feel that sometimes there's a monopoly with AAU, but there is also a benefit to it. But it does really kill us on the summertime. It kills us to have these top quality teams because you want the best competition. But with that, like you said, come power, come responsibility. So you got to give and take and the best way you can. If you want the best product and you want to compete in the summertime, to make sure you put the best brand and product out there, you got to get the best. So I try to schedule the best way possible. Sometime I got teams playing 3 games in 1 month and off July and then the rest in August. It works. Sometimes it doesn't. But it is a pain in the ass. I'll give you that much for sure.
Yeah. Luckily for us, got Nate, another one of the commissioners. He handles the scheduling. He coached AAU, so he kind of knows the dates and which dates not to schedule them. So that makes it easy for me, and everybody else that he knows all of those things.
Right.
Have you been following college basketball any?
I'm really a college basketball fan, but I've been in transition since my fall league and getting a new gigs recently, so I haven't been following. But I got to lay the land.
This is not a particular college question. We just talking about it's a combination of high school and college, right?
Okay.
The transfer portal, right? The transfer portal where a lot of the colleges are recruiting from, right? So when we talk about the AAU situation, where that only means that only a few kids may be getting scholarships directly straight from high school. That's compared to how it was without the transfer portal, where colleges had to go straight to high school. Now they have this transfer portal. It's like being able to pick guys from overseas if you're an NBA club. Right? And I talked to these college coaches, and they just he told me to tell the high school kids, to make sure they're working on their game, to make sure that they stay on top of it, because they can get lost in opportunity.
Yeah, the transfer portal is another opportunist, situation, and I don't know. College basketball is complicated, and this whole NILs and these whole elements is just confusing. But what I want to recognize that finally that college basketball is giving opportunity for young athletes to get some kind of paper, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's about time. I would say that about college basketball. I do appreciate that. And I appreciate the competition. But in terms of that transfer portal, I know people that's gone through that process has been a disaster. And some of it has just been like, you wake up in one morning, I'm out. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's a transaction right now. So I don't think it's an investment. I don't think it's like, true recruitment process for the kid. But if you got stats and you put us some numbers somewhere, they think that, it's transferable. And sometimes it is and sometimes it's not.
True. Well, I'm gonna get back to you, brother. Among the other great aspects about your tournament, I want to get back into the transition of the uniforms. All right, because when I talk to a lot of the kids, and the lay of the land is you guys got some of the hottest uniforms, not the hottest uniforms in the city. So let's talk about, I know it was your brother's idea, but the transformation throughout the years.
It's evolution. It's understanding that we're not represented by a shoe company or an apparel company at this point in time. So um, it's an opportunity for us to have our own canvas. And then my brother's mind and his dedication to what Hoops in the Sun should look like. I'm sorry, my dog is over here.
It's so good.
So just having him see what the tournament has evolved over the years and able to allow him to paint that picture, and then it allowed him to understand that I need to, this is my advertisement to the tournament. It's my enticement, but it's also an education behind the history of Hoops in the Sun in terms of how we evolve with the times. From heavy uniforms to light uniforms to not all these dull colors to bright colors to images in the back to palm trees to welcome to the Bronx signs on the back of your, we're daring, and we're like the fashion district. Like we know what uniforms are gonna look like in the summertime. We all know that, but they don't know what ours is gonna look like. So we like the anticipation. But the true process is I don't take credit for that either. My brother and my best friend Kendrick takes care of that, and their minds work together in creating an opportunity of an invite to you. Like, yo, I need to go to this place just for this. And when I get here, it's like, oh shit, it's a lot. And just seeing the pictures and seeing the people take the uniform and just do all that is like, it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. And then when you go to the other tournaments or other places and gyms you pop up into, you see a jersey or shorts, it's like the biggest highlight you can get. Like, yeah, I got that on, right? So it's like, I still get those moments, even though I've been around so long, I still get those moments. Like, I want to see somebody wear my shorts. Like, let me see what you got on today. Damn, you got somebody else? I'm cool. I love them too. You know what I mean? It's just like, but it's also, uniforms are a statement. And we want to make the statement that is different from everybody else, but also unique, that represents the beast in the best possible way.
And it's no knock to all the sneaker company uniforms. They all look the same. There's no creativity. It's like the same uniform, the same colors, the same scheme. And all the tournaments that I go visit, I'm going, wow, do they really care? Is they just giving y'all something to play in and just got the different, and everybody's got the same uniform but just a different name on the front.
Yeah.
So this is why, we take the approach we took, and looking at your guys' uniforms and style of court. Have you ever saw the Brevoort court?
I've seen pictures of it, yeah.
Right? So with the orange and the popping, right?
Yeah.
Without, it's like it just made sense. So when people came to the court and saw it after all these years, it's just like, because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking Hoops in the Sun. And when I show people the court, they like, oh, where's this? I'm going, your brother's up at Orchard Beach.
Isn't that court fire? Your court's fire too. I'm gonna give you love. That court is fire. It's like Jay-Z said, man. I could park my own arena. That's how I felt this whole summer. Like, damn, I'm going to my court.
No, it's real.
I'm going to my court. Like, it's just, and another creation from the brain, my brother Randy. I'll give you a gem. His favorite team is the Phoenix Suns.
Go figure.
in terms of the colors and the
Yes.
that's it. That's it. And he uh, he loved Phoenix Suns and loved the whole imagery, and he just ran with that, and that was it. And that was it. The Miami Heat, and stuff like that. So that's how those combinations come about.
Yeah, I was the New York Knicks. I want to give a shout out to my guy Mike Evans for Full Court Peace.
Yes,
Who
sir.
he
Mike Evans.
yes.
That's
He
the
hit
guy
me
right
up. He hit me up and volunteered to come fix the court. So that was a
there. No, let me tell you something.
blessing.
Mike Evans is a great dude. He tried to work with us, but not because of us, but Orchard has a different politics process in the courts and the permitting and all that nice
The Parks
stuff,
Department's a whole
right?
different month,
Yeah, it's a beast. So, but
Yes.
we weren't able to work together, but we still communicate. And what he's done with Joe Cord and Isaiah Cord, and he's just a very genuine individual. So, shout out to Mike Evans and Full Court Peace for sure.
Yes. Salute. Let's talk about some classic games that was played up in Hoops in the Sun. Like let's go into Joe's Rolodeck of games and some games that stick out to be like, you know what? Just being a player and seeing those games just took me back.
Yeah.
You know.
There's so many. I would say, oh man, Paul, you can't do that.
Listen, I'm gonna let you know. Once we get to that top 5, it's gonna get a little worse. All right, just want to let you know.
All right.
So I'm preparing you right now.
All right, so I'll just say this. I've seen Kenny Satterfield score 67 points indoors. At the same time, Andre Barrett scored 61 points indoors on the same team. There goes one for you. I seen Ron Artest and Kimber Walker playing the same team when Kimber was in Rice Raider. Surreal. So, those are best moments for you. I seen Lance Stevenson with Brooklyn Stompers and just dominate, and just kill. So it just depends. It depends on who's watching and what it is. But I when it comes to those historical moments, those stand out for me.
If you could change one thing about your basketball journey or you running the tournament, what would it be?
One thing I would change in my journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good question. What would I change? Stay true to my path, not try to follow anybody else's what is out there. Probably would change that. If I could change something, I would probably do night games at the beach if I would, and if I had more time on Fridays. But I'll keep it like that.
Yeah, man. It's just something about those night games, and that's what stood out for me as a kid. Was a teenager playing in Brevard during my high school years. Was, playing at night. Playing all around the city, a different Elmcore, Boise yesterday, 145th, Soul in the Hole, Kingston Park. But the night games was reserved for the older guys, for the pro-am.
Mm-hmm.
And Brevard was the only place that offered that for the high school kids as well. So that's just a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah.
The night game, if it happens, man, let me know.
I got you. You'll be
doubt.
one for you to know. So what's
For
this
sure.
top 5, man? It's Friday night, so what we doing? Because I gotta make
All
some
right.
moves. Talk to me. What's
There
the top
you go.
5?
Top five, top five, top five, top five, top five. All right. You can run through this. You got to give me 5. Can't give me 6. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Top 5 players in Hoops in the Sun history.
Mike Glover. Top 5. I would say Mike Glover, Keedron Clark, Dwight Hardy. I'm gonna get jumped tonight, boy.
That's what it's all about.
Mike Glover. I would say Hoops in the Sun history. Anybody out there help me out, please. I would say Mike Glover, Keegan Clark, Dwight Hardy, Kenny Satt, and I'm gonna go with Give me a second on that one. Damn.
This is the hardest part of the show. Everybody says
it's crazy. That's why I need some time with this one. Okay, so
you got 4.
I got 4. I got one more. I don't know if I should go more modern or should I go Kenny Satt, got that one. I want to say either a guy named Will Cadiz or Smush Parker.
You got to pick one.
Smush Parker.
Got you. Top 5 players you played against.
Top 5 I played against. White boy Steve Sawaka. S-Class from TMP.
Yep.
Speedy Williams. Two more.
Yep.
I played against Booger Smith at the not the Rucker, but the Holcomb Rucker tournament. So that was experience for me. And I would say played against Shamgard. It was tough. I can't guard him at all. It was tough to guard him. He'll call me, Joe, man, let's come work out with me, and fucking use me and destroy me. I'm like, damn, bro, that's why I don't want to play basketball no more, man. I would say those guys, yeah.
Got you. Last one. Top 5 players in New York City history, and we're going to get you out of here.
John Strickland, James Dix Williams, Junie Sanders, Mike Campbell. Oh, and okay, you mean like NBA too?
Whoever your 5 is from New York City.
Okay, so Kenny Anderson, Stephon Marbury.
So you wiping the first 3 out?
Yeah, you said NBA players that play in New York City. That's different.
No, I said
anybody.
The top 5 players in your eyes from New York City history.
I will go run to see Strick. I will go run to see Sticks. I will go run to see Kenny Anderson and Marbury. It's that small forward. I need to know who my small forward is. Who would I run and go see? Damn, who? I'm gonna go see. I used to go run see Mike Campbell play. Mike Campbell was that dude. That's Mr. Battleground right there.
Yeah,
I used to go and see him play.
I had a hand in raising Mike. That's dope. Yeah. Well, listen, brother, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, man.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely gonna be reaching out to you soon because I want to talk some things, off of here about some things that we need to do and what can we do together, and also some advice. But I want to say, man, thank you for everything you and your family have done for New York City.
Thank you.
Thank you for help sustaining the culture. All right, because what you guys have done, you guys have helped sustain the culture of New York City basketball, because we are the Mecca, and we want to give you your flowers tonight and say thank you. Say thank you to your brother and the rest of your staff for putting on a great tournament and one of the Storied tournaments in New York City history, man. Thank you, brother.
I thank you, Pooh, man. I appreciate you, and I want to give a shout out to Basketball Heads Live and what you do for the culture now, what you've been doing before. I appreciate being your presence. I appreciate spending our Friday night with you. I'm gonna get killed by my girl, but I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna blame it on you. Other than that,
Thank you. Tell us that we appreciate it.
I know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let her know now, but I'm gonna say thank you, man. True honor to be with you, brother. You a class act, and I wish you all the best luck on your platform. If I could be any help of you, tournament wise or advice or just brother, let me know.
Definitely, brother. Salute.
Okay.
All right.
Salute, brother.
All right.
Peace.
Wow. Listen, there's nothing better than family working together, right? And especially if it's passed down for generations. His dad laid the foundation for him and his brothers to continue and to create their own legacy. 23 years later, look what we have. We have one of the greatest basketball tournaments in New York City history on the East Coast and throughout the country. Because his dad had an idea to bring Venice Beach to New York. This shows you the power of dreams. If you dream it and believe it, you can achieve it. And the Cruz family showed you just that. So for you young kids out there, keep dreaming. Keep believing. Because one day, you may achieve your goals as well. Well, we're about to sign off. I'm getting out of here. It's Friday. You know what time it is. I'm your host, Glenn Pooh Harding, and you've been watching Basketball Heads Live, the podcast, New York City Basketball Network. We are the official home for New York City basketball. Peace.